Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Romy is me, and that means you can find me on all social media platforms at Romy is me on TikTok, X or formerly Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as usual, mainly on YouTube, I go by the name Romy is me, as you can see on your screens right now. And it's a beautiful and amazing day today that we want to continue with the journey of civic education, because I've realized it's very, very important that as youths, as all generations, we need to be very, very aware. We should be very, very aware of the status quo of this country in terms of politics, because it affects us directly or indirectly. You might like it or you might not like it, but that's the fact that as much as you may want to avoid politics, and that is me way back. I believe many of you maybe are still in that denial uh, state, but it's high time that we join this discussion or education journey of civic education in terms of politics, so that we can always have the right state of mind whenever we are making political decisions, because everything starts with politics, because it affects our lives directly or indirectly. So guys, um, without much further ado, I just wanted to let that sink into our minds, that it's very important to be civic educated, so that we can always make the right education, the right decision when it comes to electing our leaders. Because without our leaders, we get to suffer. Without correct or proper or leaders with integrity, we get to suffer a lot, as we are doing right now with these I'll say crook government that we have currently. So personally, I'll say the reason as to why the reason as to why the current president, which is William Ruto, won't be re-elected in the next election. That is because um, William Ruto has been a person who always stands to lie each and every time whenever he stands on a podium or on his vehicle. As you know, whenever they are moving out and about, they usually pull up in a vehicle and then they stand on top of it and then start, you know, talking to the masses. And right now, I'll say 98.9, it always lies. And Kenyans are very disappointed with the president in general, and we are so disappointed in his leadership. But I believe we will have our time when we will be making the right decision next time, when we will get to vote. That is hopefully before 2027, but if it has to stay up to 2027, most definitely we shall be kicking him out the president's seat, and put an integrity person who has work ethic, and who will always do the right thing and make the right decision for the people. So another thing that I'll say has always got wrong is in terms of accountability. He's a person who doesn't, appreciate accountability in the work ethic or in the profession of leadership that they are in. So talk of loss of funds, misuse of funds, and for example, in June 25th, people got to lose their lives and people got to be injured by the state, which is the Department of Police, you know, and they're up to now they're not communicated of any accountability for the wrongdoings that the police had to do, in the previous demonstration that have always been of for the people, pro people demonstration, which they have always been peaceful, and they ended up spoiling the demonstration by tear gassing the peaceful protesters. So that is one thing I'll say in terms of accountability. they've failed massively, and that leads us to the next one, which is corruption. And we have seen that in this government, people get into power and they accumulate wealth mysteriously in a very rapid way, and we wonder how this is possible where the economy is suffering massively. In our current budget, or even our previous budgets, or recently, our collected revenue, if it's 100% collected revenue percent, if you were to talk percentage, in 100%, 80% goes to debt, and I will want to believe that is an odious debt which we shouldn't be paying, but we shall be discussing that later on another video. That will be a topic for another day. We shouldn't be paying odious debt. Odious debt means illegal debt, debts that were taken illegally. The due process of taking those debts wasn't proper, so that makes it illegal, and we shouldn't be paying it. So if at all 80% of our debt is being paid, 80% of our budget, our revenue collected money budget is going to debt, that makes our country to remain with only 20%. 20% can't sustain this country to run and to pay the counties the devolution money. So that leaves us in a very big deficit, which makes us to continue borrowing even more and putting ourselves into a massive hole of debt and massive chains of debt, which is so unfortunate. And apparently in Kenyan laws or Kenyan constitution, you can't ask for loans or go for loans for nothing else but development. But here in Kenya, we go for loans to pay people or to take care of recurrent expenditure, which is very, very wrong. For those people who understand business, or those who understand check and balances, you can't take a loan to pay expenditures or recurrent expenditures. You take a loan to go and invest. So in terms of investment here in a country, you take a loan for development, which is an investment, and that helps our country in helping us in increasing our revenue collection. So for example, if you are to take a loan to build roads, it helps to decongest the roads by traffic jam, so you get fewer minutes or hours wasted on the jam, which helps in making more quicker business. If you are to deliver something, you make more deliveries if you don't encounter jam. So that's just an example. So basically, I'll say Ruto must go for me, together with his contingents of Raila Amolo Odinga, who joined his government. And I think we shall be doing a video on that to educate people who thought that Raila is still on opposition, that he's not. Currently, he's in the government together with his members of parliament and the 4 members who he donated to the government to help continue strangle Kenyans into depression with these current economic hard times and hard times politically. So I won't say that Raila Odinga is pro people. He had a chance to stand with the people, but he thought that AU seat is more important, and he chose to support William Ruto by joining his government, and right now they are one. So there's no way he'll come later on and say I'm for the people. So for me, I'll say Rigathi must go, for he is not being impeached as a community. He's being impeached as an individual. He has done mistakes, and somebody should be always responsible for their mistakes. So he shouldn't drag his community or the region where he comes from in his messes. That goes same to Raila Odinga, and that goes same to Ruto. So I believe this Kenya Kwanza government has failed, or this broad-based government, which is blood-based, which is bread based. They are there to eat, and they have already killed so many people, so it's blood based. And that broad based term is just one to, you know, smoke screen our eyes and our intelligence. So we won't take that. We as the youth, we as Kenyans, we as all generations, currently we are suffering, but it will reach a time when we'll have to make a right decision, and indeed we will do that. And I urge you guys who are watching or who are listening, kindly, when it reaches the time to vote, let's not be misled with the so-called tribal voting blocks. So we shouldn't vote with the tribe in our minds. So we should just vote with looking for people who are integral, people who are who have proper work ethic, and people who shall work for Kenyans. So without much further ado, that is just a short video which I had for you guys. Tell me in the comment section what you guys think, and follow me on all social media platforms as you can see them on their screens. And let's get interactive on those social media platforms, and I really appreciate. Yeah, man. So I go by the name Rome is me, and as usual, successful people look like you, and we thank God for everything, and always give thanks and stay happy and stay hopeful. All is not lost. One day we shall rejoice as a country, as a nation. So stay hopeful, don't lose hope, and stay strong. And as usual, peace, love, and harmony. Bye bye, and see you into the next one.